are underway with Xavier controlling the tip. Jerome Hunter had the best game of his career in that victory over Kennesaw State. He exploded for 24 points. Inside, and the banker goes, so they go right to work. And it is the play of Hunter on the interior.
And when you get a guy coming off a roll like he had in the first game, you have to go back to him pretty often. Nice delivery by Boone to get it started.
His previous career high was 16 points. Pump fake. Layup doesn't go for Elliott. Rebound knocked around. And a good save there by Kunkel. Nunge had the block that sealed the deal for Xavier against Kennesaw State.
A long range here.
Bottom. Kunkel with a deep shot.
Pretty good start. They get right into 2 executions just then in terms of Boone with the basketball, making it happen. Then there's just a little flip back 3. Nice start by Xavier.
Pitt held Iowa State to 41 points. That's not going to happen today against Xavier.
Good hands by Kunkel out front.
Knocks it away. Here's Boone on the acceleration. 2 defenders back. Boone tosses it up there, and it's rebounded by Burton.
Watch behind you. Jones really active defensively. Nice matchup with him and Burton.
Pitt shot just 34% in that win. Splash for Jamarius Burton, a do-everything guard for this Panther squad. 5-2 lead for Xavier.
Here you see some of the sets, and watch Kunji down low.
And Nunge throws it down. That looked easy. Ball movement, they're the best in the country passing the ball. Assists, #1 in the nation.
Yeah, they average 19 a game all season long. They've been terrific with that, and they space you out as well as any team.
Oh, big finish. Diaz-Graham goes upstairs for the jam. 7-4 Xavier. 3 field goals for the Musketeers, 3 assists. Kunkel makes his move, floats it up, off the rim. Rebound knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay right here with 20 to shoot.
So here's that little play. Cummings is going to float this up. He brings Nunge right to his chest almost, and you finish it off. And
of course, big storyline. Sean Miller was a star for the Pittsburgh Panthers, 4-year starter at point guard. Still has so much love for the program. But it's all business here today. Jumper, boom, rims out, rebound. Nunge keeps it alive, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by the Xavier big.
So they've missed a couple of shots, Xavier, but they are getting the looks that they've been getting all season long in terms of the tempo they like to set. And guys touch the basketball. Very, very experienced and well-balanced team.
It's been a long time for Pitt. Last time in the Sweet 16 was 2009. Diaz-Graham gives it up. Cummings.
Tough pass.
They tried the give and go. It's knocked away.
Yeah, Nunge with the hand just then.
Kunkel couldn't take the baseline, kick it out. Nunge can shoot it from long range.
He likes to pick and pop. There's a little slice cut too.
Good pick up there by Hinson. Nunge on the turnaround, and the rebound controlled by Elliott.
Xavier generally has good balance on their defense because they know how they set their offense up, and it just plays their better balance.
Burton on a kick. That's a deep one. Elliott is fouled in 3-point territory by Kunkel.
Boy, we're seeing a lot of that in the tournament this year, aren't we? Guys trying to block shots on 3-point shots. It's really a no-no defensively.
3 free throws coming up for Elliott. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code right now to download. Greg Elliott III, transferred from Marquette. A lot of new faces for this Pittsburgh program. That's the challenge that coaches have, trying to bring it all together and make it gel. Capel said it happened organically, and he acknowledged he didn't even think that it was anything specifically that his coaching staff did differently than they've done with previous rosters. It's just these pieces seem to fit. The older guys, they have an ego, but they don't have an ego problem.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you need this time of year, for guys to mesh, guys to think about what they're trying to accomplish as a group.
Pittsburgh got to 25 in the polls in early March. This is a team that opened up 1-3 on the season, and since that point, they've gone 23-8. We're tied at 7.
They average about 9 threes a game, so that'll be a number for Pitt to see if they can get to that.
Lob it. Nunge all in one motion. It goes down for Nunge. Xavier led the Big East in scoring this season, 81.1 points per game. They finished second in the conference behind Marquette at 15-5 in conference play. Elliott got a body bump from Kunkel. Cummings directing traffic with plenty of time on the shot clock.
Looking for a post up here.
Hinson's got a big body against Boom. Hinson the turnaround, sweet stroke.
Both of these coaches really execute well in terms of getting their teams to look for disadvantages and taking advantage of those. Watch out.
Fend off, it's an offensive foul. He used the off arm to create space, and Jack Nunge turns it over.
But before that, Ian, he even got in trouble dribbling the basketball. Watch his shoulders. He's kind of out of control on the dribble at first, and then his body just keeps rolling right into the defender.
Change here for Pittsburgh. Nike Sabandi in, the ACC sixth man of the year. Legitimate score and aggressive. He looks for a shot.
Yeah, 2 for 3 in the last game from the three-point stride. He's a good rebounder also.
Desmond Claude is in for Xavier. That ball gets knocked away. No rush here for Pitt. Tied at 9. Burton goes behind the back. Trying to take it in on Jones. A nice up fake. Missed it. And Jones cleans the glass.
Yeah, he could be an X factor for this team.
Claude lines it up. Short on a 3. And Cummings allows it to bounce out of bounds. We'll get our first timeout. This is a little taste.
They're just the team guys that's standing in the way of Xavier making the Sweet 16.
It's not the first time it's happened. They did play Pitt in the Sweet 16 when Sean Miller was the head coach at Xavier. So he's been through this before. That was a Panther win over the Musketeers, and that's a Blake Hinson layup going to the rack.
Yeah, I think you're looking at Jones on the Xavier side and Hinson on the Pitt side of two guys who could be the X factors in this game.
Remember, Pitt led Iowa State 22-2 out of the gate the other day to have a sizable lead and then ended up cruising to the victory. Jump shot, Hunter is locked in.
Just a spectacular game the other day. He was 8 of 11 from the floor for his 24 points. Both of these teams have settled in pretty nicely here in the first 6 minutes or so.
And he's made his first 2 shots this afternoon. Cummings, he draws the big to the outside.
And they're going to try to go down low with that mismatch for Hinson if they can get it to him.
The lob, hits it, double team, spin and jumper. You can't do it much better than that from Blake Hinson.
Boy, that's a recognition of where the double team is coming from, and a beautiful spin back shot and step away.
Claude, assertive move and a chance at a 3-point play for the freshman Desmond Claude. He's poised.
So watch the reaction time that you need here when he gets the basketball finally. You think he's going to be one-on-one, but there's that double team, and what does he do? He looks at it and he fades to the opposite side and around the corner. One of the things Xavier does so well is they figure out not only to get their guys on the handoff dribble, but they always, like a lot of teams do, get it going to your strong hand. And when you get that running start, you beat that defender 9 out of 10 times to the bucket.
Foul was called on Blake Hinson. The question for Pitt is going to be whether or not they can stay with Xavier on the offensive end. Can they go out and outscore them if this thing gets into the 70s and 80s? Jump shot is off the mark from Hinson.
Yeah, they need to hit those threes, though. It's so important. They will take contested threes also, Pitt.
Boom looking to get involved here. Shake and bake, step back, rings out. And the rebound ripped down by Sabandi.
Yeah, Hunter may have gotten away with one out front there with a little bit of the hold on that pick and roll.
Here's Burton, tried to bounce it. Kunkel steps in front for the steal. Adam Kunkel, the transfer from Belmont, 10.5 points per game. Hunter all the way. It's blocked from behind by Diaz-Graham. What a defensive presence he has become as this season has unfolded.
And I'll tell you why. Watch the footwork before he gets to the point. Just close. Couldn't tell from that angle if he went down on the shoulder or not. But he's very active with his feet. Good understanding of how to position himself.
And he will take a seat, replaced by Federico, who had been in the starting lineup, but they liked what they saw from Diaz-Graham. Nunge is in, and that rims out on a 3-ball.
Well, took advantage of him coming in. He's limping just a little bit going down the floor, too. Federico had that knee injury, didn't play in the first 4, 1-point win over Mississippi State. So Bandy, Nike swooshes in for the bucket.
15-14 Pitt. They are 6 of 9 from the field.
I get Nunji involved and make the big defensive center play him a little bit.
Jones back in, using his size. Comes up short, rebounded by Sabandi. Native of Indianapolis, pull-up jump, no hesitation, and it's off the heel.
One of the best teams, really, though, at coming down the floor. About 15% of their shots are off dribble, pull-up shots.
Nunji.
Little step.
It is a travel. Who will become the champion of champions? Global MVPs team up with Challenge legends in the new series, the Challenge World Championship. It's now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. So that was a short stint for Federico. Diaz-Graham is back in there. His twin brother Jorge is available on the bench as well. Sabandi. He got the body from Jones. Kick it out. Long one. Hinson. Short.
Yeah, you could see that was going to be short because it was a line drive shot. Never got loft on it.
Jones end to end. The banker is there. Colby Jones was just a little out of sorts the other day against Kennesaw State, but you mentioned it, the way that he can put up points and contribute in other areas. He could have a huge impact this afternoon.
Yeah, he was only 4 for 13. Much better shooter than that.
Pull-up pop. Cummings. No. Rebounded by Jones. We are under 12 minutes to go in this first half. 1-point lead for Xavier. Boom. Fakes the handoff. Nunji somehow maneuvers on the inside.
Well, that time he put a nail in his left shoe just to keep it on the floor.
It was close.
Spin. It was very, very close, but I think he held it down well enough.
Xavier up by 3. Cummings swing. Two-man game with Diaz-Graham, who sets the screen. Step back, Jay Cummings. No good.
Yeah, see, that shot right there is a good example of how they shoot contested shots. They look right through the defenders.
Jones, book it, a 3. Xavier on a run. Timeout Pitt. 7-0 spurt for the Musketeers.
Nunji keeping that left foot down to avoid a travel call, and Jones comes back outside and buries one from long range.
Pitt has missed its last 4 shots.
Get something going to the basket. They tried to post up.
Opening close quickly for Burton.
Good help there by Kunkel.
Now he's got him one-on-one. High screen. Burton weaving through traffic. On a kick. Diaz-Graham. Splash and a 3-ball. That's Jorge. Twin brother of Guillermo.
Boy, has he ever taken a shot from the long range. Not a bad little split, too. Finding the 3-point shot.
And the first 3 of the day for the Panthers. Cuts it 2-3. Feed the post. Nunji creating some space.
Well, not only creating the space, but creating it before he even catches the basketball line. Just, they know where their sets are coming from, and they're great at execution.
Burton, jumper. Doesn't go. Rebounded by Jones. Whip it ahead to Claude. Burton tries to close out. Keep the ball moving. Jones lines it up. Connects. A 3.
Just had a feeling that he might just lead this team this afternoon.
He stuffs the stat sheet. Just over 15 points per game, 5 boards, over 4 assists. And the lead is now 8 for Xavier.
Also active at the defensive end, a little over 1 assist per game. Colby Jones.
Sabandi lost it. He put it down low, scraping for it, and it's scooped up by Hunter. Claude, poke away. Xavier holds on to it. We are just past the midway point of this first half. Bounce it inside. Great post up. Jerome Hunter bursting with confidence.
This is an experienced team, Ian, in terms of the age of these guys, and they're playing like they're just in the backyard now, executing at the offensive end.
Burton, he gets bumped, and he's fouled. Pitt gave up 23 points in the first half the other day against Iowa State. They've already allowed 28 here in the first half today.
Look at that delivery down low to Hunter in the ball a little bit there.
Hinson just buries a triple to cut into the Xavier lead out of the timeout. Exactly what Jeff Capel was looking for. 28-21. Turnaround off to discard. Hunter is having his way on the inside as Hinson goes down on the play.
It's easy to say when you're looking at a guy on a roll, but you have to do a better job of not letting him catch the basketball down there. 4 or 5 from the floor.
The acceleration, Cummings, no. Clean up, good. And one, Diaz Graham patrolling the paint.
Really giving them good effort. Once again, it comes down to the footwork and being prepared before that shot comes down. And you see him right here just positioning himself. It's one thing to position yourself, and it doesn't hurt to have, 7 feet of size to go up. Thought he might have pushed that one a little too hard, but he catches the left side of the rim for a drop.
Prep year at IMG Academy for Diaz Graham and his brother, originally from Canary Islands in Spain, and the impact that he has had down the stretch of this season to the point now where they are trusting him in these big moments and big games.
And to me, one of the best parts of that story is with him. He was averaging about 10 minutes of action per game. He played 37 minutes the other night, and he's in condition. They're giving him a little bit of a break, but really remarkable is conditioning, working away from the games.
Xavier has 13 field goals. They have 11 assists. Back in. Jones, short. Rebound. Hunter will back it out. No, it's going to go the other way. Hunter, he made contact there with Burton.
Might have been a loose arm coming up. I think it was the right arm as he tracked down that ball. Pretty good effort to get it in the corner. And as you see now, Wachi comes by. It's not much, but that's a hook right there. Good call. There's John Gaffney right on the call.
And a foul. No, it is going to be offensive. The move made by Nelly Cummings out front.
Yeah, the times they call that generally out front is when the big guy extends his leg a little further. Watch to see if he extends his leg beyond the width of his shoulders.
So Diaz Graham set that screen.
Yep, and put the leg out a bit.
6-point lead for Xavier. Jones takes it. Rejected! Diaz Graham.
And watch Burton right now. He's a factor in this block. You see him right there. He's making it more difficult on Jones to get an initial shot up that allows your shot blocker to have an extra stride and a half a second to get the block.
Souley Boom goes long here for Hunter. We'll see if Boom look to get more involved in the scoring area.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I thought he would be, but the way they're executing half court, he doesn't need to.
Up top.
Yep, good call.
Foul call, Nunji. He's going to head to the free throw line when we come back. 7:53 mark of this first half. Xavier holding on.
One of the interesting things, Sean Miller hinted that he might not go as fast. As you take a look at Hinson on the bench there, because he doesn't have the depth. So he was wondering sometimes, am I playing a little too fast, keeping my legs fresh? But the way they're playing now, this is clearly Xavier basketball, blending the inside, the outside. They have 18 points in the paint already.
10th season in the Big East Conference for Xavier. Remember, Pitt was in the Big East Conference. They were a staple in the Big East before their move to the ACC. Half-court set, contact, travel. Nelly Cummings is frustrated.
Yeah, there may have been a little bit of a bump right there before he traveled.
Tournament summary, only 2 1 seeds have reached the Sweet 16, 5th time in tournament history, 3rd straight NCAA tournament where a 15 seed has advanced to the Sweet 16, and 6th consecutive tournament where the defending champion did not reach the Sweet 16. Parity is alive and well.
Sure is.
Kunkel up top, slammed down by Nunji. Kunkel sets up the dunkle. 10-point lead for Xavier. Burton. That was too far, but the great extension there by Diaz Graham. He's got wingspan to spare.
Well, Xavier knows the scouting report that they like to shoot threes. They are really attacking it.
Diaz Graham. It's off. And it's rebounded by Jones. Xavier trying to add to its lead.
Yeah, they're coming at him quickly now.
It's working through Nunji. Kunkel got a three. Xavier is cooking.
With the body language just then with Kunkel, you knew that that shot was going to go down. They are just at a high point right now in their offense.
They have made 9 of their last 11 attempts. This lead is now 13. Burton one-on-one against Jones. And a foul call. Shot clock was winding down to 6.
So look at Kunkel just eyeing it up, and that's because there's a lot of movement before that shot on the spread offense. And now they go back to Nunge and they kick it out to Kunkel, and just rhythm basketball. You get to that sixth sense of feeling good about the game, feeling good about your teammates, and just things start to click at a high level.
Sabandi is back in for Pitt. Remember, Xavier was down 13 to Kennesaw State in the second half. A 14 seed. They went on a 15-0 run. Stop and go by Burton. They need somebody to step forward offensively, and Burton could be the guy.
You know, one of the ways they do it, too, not only with the threes, but that mid-range pull-up game, too. So but they need some stops here for a team that's running on high-octane efficiency.
Xavier is doing this without Sule Boom scoring yet.
Yeah, the only starter who hasn't scored.
Nunge, short.
Nice play there to save that just then.
Sabandi lost his footing for just a moment. There's Burton, hard drive. Rejected by Nunge.
Step across from Nunge from the right to the left.
Claude doesn't take the open look, gives it up. Nunge rolls to the rim for the hammer.
And if we mentioned that this team has 19 assists per game, and their numbers are up now to 14. They're going to blow right through 19 if they keep this up.
They are number 6 in the country in field goal percentage, 49%. They are well above that, 57% in the first half. Burton, spin and kick. Diaz-Graham, an air ball.
Nunge has gotten a couple of blocks in terms of deflections going after the basketball. And what's happening here when he blocks the ball, the very next time down the floor just then, they had an opportunity to go deep and they did not. And here he finishes it off. So very involved in terms of his opportunities here, where he's 4 for 10 in the first game.
He has already matched his season average. 14 points today for Jack Nunge. Transfer from Iowa, now in his 6th year, had a redshirt medical in 2018-19.
They go to a matchup, and Kunkel's going to let it rip.
Feeling it. Adam Kunkel smoking hot.
Oh, they just picked that matchup zone apart with one little high screen. Kunkel was like waving his hands, just waiting for the opportunity.
Iowa State finished with 41 points the other day against Pitt. Xavier has 42 with 4.5 to go in this first half. They can add to it here. Bank shot doesn't go for Boom. Cesar Edwards is in the game, another body that Sean Miller can rotate in. Here's Burton, swing. And a foul call. Diaz-Graham going to the rim. And it's going to be free throws here as Jones picks it up. Download the March Madness Live app on your LG OLED TV today. It's not just OLED, it's LG OLED. Changes here. Blake Hinson back in. They are searching for some offense, trailing 42-26. And now maybe they're going to have to wait until, well, he was shooting free throws, so they're definitely going to have to wait. Jorge Diaz-Graham is at the line for 2. That's where you could have pulled the switcheroo with the Twins. And now you have the officials asking, wait, was it that Diaz-Graham or that Diaz-Graham? They wear different shoes.
Jeff Capel can't figure it out. How are the officials going to figure it out?
He said one of them does wear an earring as well. So free throws here. Diaz-Graham. More from Evan.
This goes back obviously to Spain, and meeting of the legend, Pau Gasol. That's where the real love and commitment to the game was ignited. As you can see here, 2 pictures from Pau Gasol's academy in Spain. They were 16 when these pictures were taken. I spoke to them yesterday. Their personalities through the roof. I asked them, hey, do you guys ever fight? They lived together in Pittsburgh, and Guillermo told a great story where it was Jorge's turn to do the dishes that week. He wasn't doing the dishes, so Guillermo put all the dirty dishes on Jorge's bed, and guys, it led to an actual physical altercation. Obviously, they've moved on from it, but twins do fight.
That could be a problem when sauce has made its way into your bed.
Maybe they have discussions.
42-28, Xavier in front. So Guillermo remains on the floor. Jorge Diaz-Graham to the bench. 14-point lead for Xavier.
Back to the matchup zone 2 right now. Let's see if they get a stop.
Claude circles. Shot clock down to 6. Outside, Claude can't hit the 3. Gang rebounding for Pitt, led by Sabandi.
Hinson has to be very careful at both ends of the floor iron with the 2 fouls.
Hinson in a matchup with Edwards. Screen set by Cummings. Kick, Cummings. Can't buy one. Rebound is out of bounds. Diaz-Graham couldn't secure it. Just 5 points for Pittsburgh over the last 5 minutes.
So when the ball hops, Sean Miller uses the phrase, got to get some energy in the ball, guys, and keep it moving. They're doing that this afternoon.
Our game summary, 15 assists for the Musketeers. They have 22 points in the paint. 42-28. Xavier in front. Dealing with his own look. Boom. Still has not scored. He averages 16.5 points per game. Second in the Big East. He's 0 of 6.
Yeah, 5 of 11 from the 3-point stripe for Xavier. They were 2 for 12 the other day. So much better.
Burton floats it up. Doesn't go. Rebound for Colby Jones.
Yeah, he knows he has to get that one. You can tell with his reaction.
Kunkel. Man, he is really locked in.
He's simply finding open spots on the floor where he's almost anticipating that the Pitt defense don't see him for a second, and then he recovers.
Pull-up jump, Cummings.
Maybe a little push down low for Xavier. Going to go against them.
It will work against the Musketeers.
Watch him right here. He's just drifting to a spot. He recognizes that nobody really sees him clearly, and at that point, it's a catch and go.
He is 4 for 4 from 3-point territory. Out of the state of Kentucky, Cooper High School, all-time leading scorer at Cooper.
I think he's having a little fun.
His dad, Greg, played football at Kentucky. Second half of our doubleheader here in Greensboro. It'll be Kentucky and Kansas State coming up. Second round action from the East region. Coming up, also AT&T at the half. Greg, Clark, Wally, Kenny. They'll break down our first half. Look ahead to that matchup of Wildcats. And a look back at yesterday's thrilling upsets. In and out there for Diaz-Graham.
Yeah, so Pitt has to be careful right now. They want to make sure they don't turn the ball over in the last 2.5 minutes and maybe get a stop or 2 here, because they don't want this to go to 20 walking into the halftime break.
Currently 16. Claude feed the post, Nunji. Kunkel. Give it up.
Great ball movement.
Boom.
Wow.
In and out.
Off his head.
He's got a soccer background. And Pittsburgh controls it. Here's Burton using that screen. Under 2 minutes to go in this first half. Burton can't find an opening. Diaz-Graham to the rim. He missed it. Rebound, Elliott. The lane opened up, and it's out of bounds off of Xavier. The officials come together. The call initially made by Lamar Simpson. John Gaffney came over to chat, and it's going to go the other way in favor of the Musketeers.
Gaffney with a better angle on that play, evidently.
So now 7 minutes elapsed, just 5 points for Pitt. So Nunji the block, and then, yes,
Yeah.
Diaz-Graham got his hand in there.
Good teamwork by the officials to get that one right.
Second block for Xavier. That's 2 now for Nunji.
Look at Nunji, how deep he is.
Kunkel. Oh, he's not human! for 5. (48-29). Cummings answers with a triple.
Yeah, that last trip down, the spacing's just so good in terms of looking for one another. And look how far out you have these guys playing out here now to recognize Kunkel's ability.
Under a minute to go. First half. They extend out on Kunkel, having a catch with Boom. Boom makes his move.
That opens up driving opportunities.
Nunji, short. One and done there for Xavier. Cummings goes behind the back with it. Penetrates. Diaz-Graham forced to back it out. Nice cut. And a finish by Burton.
And on this one possession right now, Hinson has to be very, very careful on the floor. Last thing you want is some kind of crazy bounce and him getting in the middle of it with the 2 fouls.
Sean Miller takes a timeout to talk this one over. 18.1 on the clock.
With that, might open up some driving opportunities.
The 48 points, that is tied for the most allowed in a first half this season by Pitt. They gave up 48 to Duke during the ACC season.
Hinson able to avoid his 3rd foul in that first half, so he's back on the floor, ready to go.
Cummings held in check in the first half. He was 1 of 7. He's now 1 of 8. Rebounded by Nunji. Just 3 turnovers for the Musketeers as well.
Well, that's a number that Sean Miller loves to keep under 10 per game.
Drop step. Banker doesn't go for a Hunter. It was halfway down.
Oh, he's confident, though. That was a nice little move there along the baseline.
Burton, body bump. Floater is good.
See how he was patient with that move, too? To your point, Ian, with that body bump. Guys who can score in the paint understand that that's so important to just get a little contact.
48-36. Discard. It's an offensive foul on Nunji.
And there's Hinson's availability on the weak side to come across and make something happen defensively. If that play happened at the end of the first half, he couldn't take this chance because he had 2 fouls. He can take that chance first couple of minutes of the second half, though.
This is the 8th all-time meeting. First since 2010. Pitt leads the all-time series with a mark of 4-3 against Xavier. Burton, he brings the big outside, and it comes up short on the jumper.
Yeah, he was late following his own shot, too. Sometimes when you shoot the ball as an ace shooter, you can feel when it's coming up short, but he kind of just stayed stuck to the ground there.
Jones works his way in, squeezes through for the deuce.
3 or 4 bodies in the middle of the paint that time, and Jones just figured out where they weren't.
The Musketeers lead by 14, early stages second half. Burton picked up by Jones, high screen from Diaz-Graham. Burton, the pull-up pop, off the heel.
Nunchi's a factor, though. He's playing that free safety in the middle of the floor, and they keep looking at him, I think, before they get ready to shoot.
Hunter against Hinson.
Nice
help. Denied. Diaz-Graham. Follow. Goes down for Nunji.
And obviously when Diaz-Graham goes for the block and he gets it, that leaves Nunji wide open, almost like an offensive rebounding position.
16 points, 3 rebounds for Nunji. Cummings gets cut off by Nunji. Shake and bake, kick.
How about Nunji being able to guard a guard out there without him breaking him down off the dribble?
Hinson wheels to the rim for the bucket.
He's got to get his touches, and he's going to go with them.
Sule Boom. Foul called. Let's check in with Evan.
Well, guys, when I spoke to Jeff Capel, his message was all about disruption defensively. They're going to throw everything they have at Xavier in this second half defensively. That starts first with getting back on defense, but he said that'll include changing up ball screen defense, sending traps. As for Sean Miller, he pointed to these first 4 minutes. He said, we have a troubling history of giving up big leads in the first 4 minutes of second halves this season. He said 10 times, by his math, they've given up 15-point runs. So obviously a better start to this one.
We're going to trust him.
I'm going to trust him, too. If he said 10 times, Evan, he knows that it's exactly 10 times.
I trust coaches on that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't trust them on pronunciations. Name pronunciations, not a strength.
Yeah.
Numbers, I'm with you. 53-38 Xavier. First point of the day for Sule Boom. The grad transfer from Oakland, California. Played at UTEP before that at San Francisco. Hinson, it's going to count. No, on the floor. There was a moment there where the officials pondered, but it is going to be on the side for Pitt.
Well, let's see where the foul occurs. Yeah, way before.
Colby Jones picks it up.
A lot of reaching, but here's Hinson once again. He sees that wide open lane. When Nunji comes out to defend on the perimeter, it really opens it up.
Hinson is fouled along the baseline by Nunji. In 3 weeks, CBS returns to Augusta National Golf Club, a tradition unlike any other. The Masters coming in April to CBS. That's number 3 on Nunji. So Sean Miller has to make a change here. This is not a deep Xavier team. Remember, they lost Zach Fremantle, talented forward, averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds per game. Season-ending foot surgery for Fremantle.
But Pitt should be able to challenge a little better now underneath the basket.
Haven't had him since January the 28th.
Burton wants to go away from the potential double team.
Burton reverses it.
Smart move. You go to the middle of the lane just then, and Xavier's going to collapse the floor and squeeze you, so go away from the double team potentially.
So this is where Jerome Hunter shifts to the center spot. Kunkel missed it on a Rainbow J, and it's going to stay right here. A loose ball foul against Pitt.
Pair of twos in there trying to jockey around. But you go away from it because here's the help. So smart move just along the baseline. Take what's there.
And that's number 3 on Hinson, Jim.
So now he has to play careful basketball. I'd go right to Hunter on the blocks if they can.
Boom looking for the cutter.
There's Hunter, but they went right over top.
Too high. Kunkel happened to be in the right spot. Shot clock is winding down. Drive and kick. Boom. Floats it up.
That's going to go the other way.
Offensive foul.
You got to give Hinson credit.
Problems. Boom. Turnover. Probably had that jump shot initially. Tried to drive it. We got a timeout here in the second half.
Range as we've just seen on that shot.
He's got 5 3-pointers. That matches a Xavier tournament record for 3-pointers in a game. 53-40. Xavier in front. Just under 60 minutes to play in this second half.
I'd start driving it a little bit or hit the post without Nunji in there.
Nunji on the bench with 3 fouls. Jumper Elliott. It's an air ball. Out of bounds. Pitt shot it at just 34% in that victory over Iowa State on Friday. First 4 wins, 60-59 over Mississippi State on Tuesday night in Dayton. They're at 41% shooting here today.
Do you go back to Hunter against down on the blocks? They're trying to look for him a little bit.
Boom. Short. Long rebound. And foul is called. Boom got in there with Cummings. That's his 3rd.
Nice effort by Cummings to go after this basketball as a guard. Not much of contact, but I think it was that left hand that came in and swiped a little bit beforehand that they got him on initially.
1 point, 3 fouls, 0 of 7 from the field for Sule Boom.
Challenge him off the dribble, a great post.
Burton high off the window, couldn't convert. And it's tracked down by Kunkel.
Somebody's open.
Hinson late getting back. Hunter lays it in.
That's why he was open.
It's a man advantage.
That's because Hinson fell down at the other end of the floor offensively, and nobody picked him up down the middle of the floor.
The 4th Xavier player in double figures. Hunter now with 10. The lead is 15.
There you go.
Sabandi with the lay-in.
I know Pitt likes to shoot the 3, and they usually get 9 threes per game, but I think right now is the time to put that ball on the floor and challenge Xavier at the 10.
Turnaround, Hunter. He's played at a different level. Jerome Hunter. His numbers up across the board this season, but in the NCAA tournament, it's gone up a notch.
And he's being defended by a guy.
Evan, you are rock solid in every way.
Let's see him get that through security.
Nah, it's not going to work. Got to check it. That was goaltending, so 57-44, Xavier in front.
There's that double team to get that ball out of Hunter's hands.
The confidence of Hunter, and it's off the rim.
It worked that time, Ian, though, because they got him away from the basket a little bit better. There's a nice opportunity to drive.
Turns the corner, negated. Colby Jones.
I think he should have gone with a left-sided layup rather than trying to dunk that ball.
Now it's Jones on the other end, matched up with Elliott. Double team, swing it. Boom.
Wow.
Nothing is working for Boom, but it is working for Xavier. They couldn't convert on the inside with Jones.
Yeah, they're not making shots that they made in that first half, giving Pitt a little bit of life to get a run going.
Boom is now 0 of 8 from the field. It's 57-44 Xavier. Burton comes up short.
They're driving it. They're doing the right thing without Nungy in the game, who's right up there now getting back.
Boom, bottoms.
He's going to keep shooting. I mean, don't let the statistics fool you on a game-by-game basis. This afternoon really not doing much. 1 for 9 from the floor.
Roll to the rim. Hinson can't get it to drop. He thought there was going to be a foul call underneath.
And Kunkel was the factor. Watch out, he may go for another one here.
Back it up. Short.
That's the mentality he has, though. Keep the pressure on you offensively.
Meanwhile, Nelly Cummings has gone 1 of 8 from the field. Crossover. Sabandi. Good defense there by Claude. And Claude is fouled by Sabandi. Sule Boom finally gets his first field goal of the day. His mom, Mariam, had a tough time getting here. Her flight circled in the Oklahoma area, eventually landed in Dallas, but she missed her connection, had to stay at the airport, didn't get to see Xavier win their first round game, was told that the next flight she was going to have was not going to be until sometime today. She said, no, I have to get there. They found her a flight. She got here to see her son performing here for the Musketeers.
Unless it's an early charter.
Kunkel. Off the mark, cleared by Diaz-Graham. That's Jorge that's in there along with his brother Guillermo.
Pitt trying to pick up the pace a little bit. Not bad on the defensive transition, though, for Xavier.
We are under 12 minutes to play. Ball gets deflected out of bounds. It'll be scooped up by Capel, and we get a timeout. Xavier has remained in control here against Pitt. Plenty of time left in the second half as we return. Fun atmospheres.
They really are.
Guys that get after it, a championship on the line. Have it for you next weekend. Cummings floats it up and in. Out of a timeout always makes a coaching staff feel good about things.
Yeah, to get that down, and now this defensive effort has to pick up just a touch. It's been much better here in the second half. Oh, look at the big guy.
Steal. Diaz-Graham takes it in on a rack attack.
All the big guy basketball fans love that type of play when he comes out on the floor and makes a steal.
And they've cut it to 12. Boom slices through the D for the lay-in.
Good traffic over there by Xavier, intentionally setting up a path for him to go to the basket.
We're going to hit the 11-minute mark of this second half. Oh, foul called. Cummings was going to try the pull-up jump, but there was contact on the other side.
Here he goes. He anticipates pretty well here, and he just picks the pocket of Kunkel.
Third foul on Hunter.
I like that little look over his shoulder, too, to see who's coming from behind him handling the ball.
Diaz-Graham can handle the ball, as can his brother.
Both skilled.
Multifaceted. These guys are going to get stronger and stronger. They're going to be a big part of this program moving forward. Guillermo was the bigger recruit of the two, so there was a question, would they go to the same school? At one point, it looked like they were going to go to different schools, and then Pitt said, hey, we want you both.
Who's he going to argue with if he doesn't get his brother to come?
Jump shot, Doesn't go for Elliott. He'd find somebody probably.
Yeah, those are shots he usually makes.
Driving to the rim. Desmond Claude doing it with a purpose.
Yeah, did you see Hunter then too, setting it up so he could go right by him and not allow Hunter's man to get in there.
Cummings cut off by Nunji. Back in there playing with the 3 fouls. The cut and the lay-in goes. It's Jorge Diaz-Graham. Right now, Pitt is 20. It's a 14-point game. Near steal. Nunji rolls to the rim and a chance for 3.
Jeff Capel wanted a charge on that offensive move to the basket, though.
It's going to be Cummings picking up his second. And Hinson will check back in for Pitt.
Yeah, I mean, that's good legal guarding position. I think they got away with one, Xavier, and they end up getting a bucket out of it.
18 points, 8 of 12 from the field for sixth-year big man Jack Nunji. Jim, you talked about it early. It doesn't matter who scores for Xavier. They share the ball. There's one mindset here. And we've seen it time and time again, that extra pass.
They're up to 21 assists on 27 field goals. Not a bad percentage.
The lead is 16 for Xavier. Contact. The miss by Sabandi. Nunji held his ground.
He's not blocking most of the shots, but he's a factor.
Jones had to take it away. And a foul call. Blake Hinson thought he got it clean.
I think it's somebody behind. Is it Hinson or is it somebody before Hinson?
It's going to be Hinson.
Yeah, that's an arm on arm right there.
So Hinson is forced to the bench. Jeff Capel was screaming at the officials from the other side of the floor.
Uh-oh, chance.
Nunji draws the foul. Nunji will shoot a pair at the 10:03 mark. Tune in to Creator League's 2v2 season featuring viral creators Cash Nasty, Jenna Bandy, Devontae Friga, and more. Watch live on the Creator League YouTube channel as they compete for a chance to play in the championship game in Houston, April 2nd. Nunji short.
Barely got it there. 70% free throw shooter, too, for a big guy. Nice number.
Nunji, who bulked up during his redshirt season, tore his ACL in the 2019-2020 campaign, made the decision to transfer from Iowa. Been such a huge part of this Xavier program and getting back to the NCAA tournament with Sean Miller in his second stint. Missed on a pair of free throws. Sabandi pulls it back. Can't hit from the outside. And it's Burton with the offensive board. They get a reload.
Good tip to himself.
Elliott stops. Needs help. Plenty of time on the shot clock here.
Trying to get more aggressive off the dribble, Pitt is.
Cummings takes it in, flips it up. Fouled by Nunji. And that's going to be number 4 on Jack Nunji.
And as a guy who's driving to the basket, one of the first things you want to do if you don't have the real good opportunity to just lay it in, watch the body action as he comes through. He's going to throw his body at a moving tall guy, which is always going to get called by the officials. Smart play for Cummings to put himself at the line where he shoots it at just under 90%.
Nelly Cummings.
Now what's going on, Holy? That's not going to count, I don't think.
Capel has an issue with Greg Nixon. And he continued that conversation. A technical has been charged on Pittsburgh and Jeff Capel. John Gaffney, longtime official, has now stepped in. So Greg Nixon had come over to that area. Capel started talking. Elliott tried to get in between them. Now that might have been going back to the Blake Hinson call.
Could be. I mean, that's a 30 seconds ago or thereabouts.
This was the fourth on Hinson that drew the attention of Capel. This is the bump for Cummings coming in. So he gets that call because Cummings is going to the line. There's the other side of the floor where you were referencing, Ian, with the grabbing going to the basket. So Cummings will get two. He did shoot a free throw, but that first one wouldn't count because they had already blown the whistle on the technical.
Yeah, especially when you have one of the officials crisscrossing into your territory to shoot it. Here comes the... That's the same play in terms of getting to the line. So Cummings gets that one more that you just referenced, because they blew up the first one that happened to miss. As it just touched on under 90%. Watch how softly he shoots this ball. He doesn't need a rim up there.
68-52 Xavier, 9:33 to go in this second half.
Let's see if this picks up the energy level for Pittsburgh. They've been playing with energy, but maybe uptick it a little.
Jones tried to hit his man Edwards. It's taken away. Sabandi off to the races. Yeah. Sabandi lost it. Boom, gets a piece. Now it's a 3-on-2. Inside the finish. Cesar Edwards, the sophomore.
So Boom is only 2 for 11, but he made up for it there with a little bit of a deflection. They had some big numbers too.
Cummings drive, switching hands for the crafty finish. And he's got 9. A timeout taken with 8:58 on the clock. Xavier 70, Pitt 54 in the second half. Great year.
Yeah. Right here now they have 4 ball handlers on the floor. Xavier.
That's Claude. And that was Olay defense. There was nobody there.
Well, it was because of Edwards, Ian, who was blocking and trying to move the defender out of the way.
Cummings tried to shovel it, and it bounces out of bounds off of Xavier.
Yeah, watch for number 4 eventually. Right there, you see him pushing his way there to clear a lane at the end of that play. Close to an offensive foul.
Xavier is shooting it at 53% from the field. Pitt held Iowa State to 23% the other day. The lead is up to 18. Cummings.
Wow.
Rejected. Edwards. Nunji has been a defensive presence. Edwards as well.
Yeah, this small lineup, or should say smaller lineup for Xavier is very quick.
Edwards checks in at 6'9", 225.
Notice Boom's not trying to track down a shot or hunt one down.
Kunkel, he'll take it.
He sure will.
Rebounded by Burton. Burton's got 10 points. Hinson the high man with 11. Burton. Wow. Missed it badly off the window. Boom thought about it for a moment. Cummings recovers defensively. We're down to 7:38 to go.
I think Boom is recognizing he's only 2 for 11 from the floor, so he's going to be a playmaker because these guys are shooting the lights out when they get the right shot.
Screen set, Edwards.
Wow, what handle though.
The drive. Oh, it goes! Boom goes the dynamite.
Oh, brother, watch out.
20-point lead for Xavier. The jumper is no good for Sabandi. And a foul called. Edwards will pick it up. We've been waiting for some of the wizardry of Souley Boom.
There it is.
Mom loves it.
That's Graham.
Been a very limited role for Federico. We saw him for about 30 seconds in that first half. Coming off the knee injury that he suffered during the ACC tournament here in Greensboro against Georgia Tech.
As soon as he got on the floor, it was pretty evident that he was limping. Didn't take, once he got to half court, you're looking at him, why is this guy trying to play if he can't run faster than that?
At the free throw line, Guillermo Diaz-Graham. That was a big-time snatch on the inside by Burton. But a foul was called on him.
Or did he step
Or did
out
he
of
just step on the
bounds with it? I
baseline?
think he went out of bounds with it.
That is the call. So Burton goes upstairs for it, and could not get that right foot to stay in bounds. 20-point lead for Xavier. No rush here for the Musketeers. Under 7 minutes to go. Boom, one-on-one with Cummings. Now a screen set by Hunter. Claude has been solid. The jumper is off. Rebounded by Sabandi.
And start to pick up your pace if you're Pitt now. Because Xavier's defense, we talk about their offense. Their defense has been terrific.
Sabandi gets into the teeth of the defense. And a foul is called. Shot was off the mark. He will shoot a pair. And a foul called on Kunkel, his second.
Just trying to push it into the middle of the floor.
You thought it might be goaltending? That's why you reacted that way?
Yeah, with that look to the left, you know me too well.
I do.
Scary.
I can finish your sentences.
Say what?
Watch CBS Sports HQ for free. 24/7 coverage of the big dance, all the biggest moments in sports. Catch tournament highlights, picks, previews, recaps, and much more. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today.
77% free throw shooter comes 0 for 2. Tough to get back into the game if you get to the line and you're not going to make them.
They're now 9 of 13 at the line. They've been out-rebounded 38-28. They've been outplayed by Xavier.
Well, that's got to be a step, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah, lost his footing. Hunter, it's a travel. But a comfortable lead here with just over 6 minutes to play. The 8th turnover of the day for Xavier. Went to the Elite Eight in 2017, making their 29th appearance in the NCAA tournament.
Lob. Boom.
Finish by Diaz-Graham.
Good read there by Cummings. Brought 2 guys in his direction.
We're going to hit the 6-minute mark. Second half. Kunkel for Jones. Boom. Smaller lineup here. Step in by Burton. Couldn't grab it. And a blocking foul is called as Colby Jones took the baseline.
The foul will be charged to Pitt. His second. Team foul.
And Jones is going to relace that right sneaker. Over 1,000 career points. Terrific passer, as we've seen. A lot of variety to his game. And he's going to head to the free throw line.
It's almost if you don't pass on this team, you don't play.
His brother CJ played at Arkansas and Middle Tennessee State. And a miss of the strike. All 5 Xavier starters are in double figures here this afternoon. They put up 74 points.
Look,
Hinson back in. He thought there would be someone to pass to.
throw it to you.
Almost. Sabandi can't hit the 3. And it's rebounded by Boom. Pittsburgh's shooting woes have continued.
And only 5 offensive rebounds, too. So Xavier is not only defending well, but they're defending off the defensive rebounds.
Panthers shooting 39% from the field. Claude on a kick. Jones lines it up. Short. Rebounded by Burton.
Never gathered that ball cleanly. Throw off his rhythm.
Counted down to the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, he's got to power in here.
He does. Yeah. Hinson against Kunkel and a foul called. It's number 3 on Adam Kunkel. So free throws here for Blake Hinson, the junior. Coming up here in Greensboro, from the east, Kentucky and Kansas State. Michigan State and Marquette also still to come here on CBS. We check in with Evan.
Yeah, guys, a tie between Sean Miller and John Calipari. He recruited Sean to Pittsburgh. Calipari was an assistant when Sean was in high school, and it goes beyond just that coach-player relationship. They consider each other family. Calipari spent most of practice talking to Sean's dad yesterday, John, who's in attendance here, a legendary high school coach. And again, almost to that cousin relationship going back to those Pittsburgh days. And obviously been rooting for them ever since. And since they're not on the same side of the bracket, they don't have to worry about one another until maybe Houston.
Yeah, Sean played for his dad, John, at Blackhawk High School. Had a terrific career. John, as you mentioned, Evan, legendary figure in Pennsylvania high school basketball ranks. Kunkel, the runner, doesn't go. And it looks like Diaz-Graham is okay.
Okay, yeah, I saw him like reaching for his left leg there initially.
We're down to 4:35 left. It's a 17-point game. Oh, it's really deep. Blake Hinson on a hoist.
Did you think he was going to shoot that?
No.
I had no clue. I thought I was getting ready to say, bust by somebody off the dribble.
15 points for Hinson. He leads Pittsburgh. They trail by 14. If it's going to happen, it's going to have to start now.
This is a momentum stop right here. Defensively, you can get one.
Nunji double team. Spread it for the claw three. No good. Rebounded by Hinson.
Have to get an answer right here on the offensive end if you're going to make a run if you're Pittsburgh.
Can they put some pressure here on Xavier?
Not again.
Hinson. Oh, the heat check was in and out.
Wow. That was just a long, soft shot again. Sean Miller putting the brakes on this. He wants to limit the number of possessions that Pitt can get their hands on the ball.
Clock is rolling. 3:34 to go.
There's a creator of shots.
Boom, lines it up. And it's rebounded by Elliott. Get it ahead for Burton. Burton.
Nice pass.
Lob it inside. Diaz-Graham couldn't finish it. Sprawled down, foul called. So more free throws for Pittsburgh. When we come back, they trail Xavier by 14. Nunji just fouled out. Hinson showing off the range. 22 assists. Another miss at the line for Diaz-Graham.
Because what I mean by that, with a smaller lineup on the floor, you know that Pitt eventually is going to have to come with some kind of full court action. They're going to have to come with some kind of trapping, and to have an extra smaller guy on the floor will help with ball handling. So here comes a little bit of the traps, looking for some opportunities.
It's a 13-point lead for Xavier. Boom and Claude handle the trap, and then a foul called as Claude made his way out towards the lane. Foul on Greg Elliott III. CBS tonight after 60 minutes. Don't miss Queen Latifah as the equalizer, seeking justice for those with nowhere to turn. New episode tonight on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Claude only 60% or thereabouts shooting the ball from the line.
9th team foul on Pitt. This is a 1-and-1. And that works in Pitt's favor. Empty possession for the Musketeers. No points over the last 4 minutes for Xavier.
Have to go a little quicker. There you go.
It's Burton. Bank shot. Good. And a foul. Pitt trying to make a move.
Now, this is a second-half team all season long that Jeff Capel put together. Little curl cut there, and watch the strength take over. You search out a body once again, and Burton gets the shot to go. He knows he's going to get fouled on that play, but important to get to the line where he's above 80%.
The foul called on Desmond Claude.
Made shot allows him to come up again with their defense.
Burton, native of Charlotte, Independence High School. He has cut it to 10. He's got 13 points. Just under 3 minutes to play.
Last possession, they got it over with a second to spare. They clear it with 3 there. Now you get a little tighter if you're a Xavier player who wants to step up and aggressively go after getting the ball and make something happen. Boom generally is that guy to create.
It's Boom on a switch against Hinson. Boom.
Good play.
Forced to give it up. Kunkel, shot clock winding down. Off the mark, and it's rebounded by Elliott.
That's a shot he would have taken, too. A long range.
Hinson. Oh, he missed it. Offensive board. Diaz-Graham. It leaks out. And squeezed by Burton. Turnover and a foul. He tried to hit Cummings on the outside, and Boom steps in. Third personal on Nellie Cummings.
And Ian Elliott was standing over by the bench, wide open if they could have come up with this basketball. Good effort here to get this off the glass. And watch him over here. He's just wide open waiting for it. And he's a 42% shooter from 3. That would have been interesting.
Yep, Cummings was clapping for the ball. And Burton didn't see Boom in the area. So what a turn there. You get that 3 ball to go down. All of a sudden, it's a 7-point game. Instead, no points on that possession. And Boom has given Xavier a 12-point advantage with 2:16 on the clock.
Yeah, funny how it works out in Xavier's favor with an 87% shooter goes to the line to put 2 away.
12 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists for Boom.
Same thing.
Burton to the basket, missed the banker, but a foul.
Could barely hear the whistle, but you knew he got hit just then.
It's going to be Claude picking up his 3rd.
So he turns the corner, watch his left shoulder, trying to get that right in front if he can. And once you get your shoulder and your body follows with that, you're in control when you're driving to the basket.
Jamarius Burton at the free throw line. He is 1 of 1 today. His first one features no Pitt players along the lane. And now they'll rejoin his teammate for rebounding purposes.
Jeff Capel was taking that as basically a 4-man timeout. Somebody will convey that to Burton.
They're going to protect Hinson with those 4 fouls and go offense defense here. So Diaz-Graham, that's Jorge that checks in, joining his twin brother. Burton's at 84%. And he misses on the second attempt. 76,
Can't foul
65.
that guy. Oh, he just fouled him. I don't know why they didn't call that one.
Boom, off the double. Clear it. And that's the right guy to foul Claude, but I'm with you. It looked like there was contact on Boom right before he hit the midcourt line.
In front of us, I thought he got hit. I think that was just a breakdown. And watch right now. Coming. Yeah, that's a foul. And then they make a decision not to foul Boom there, which was good scouting report in a secondary fashion to put Claude at the line, who's at around 60%.
But now the double bonus.
But if you can trade 1 for 2 or 3 and do it in a hurry. And to your point, Hinson back on the floor, Ian, for offense. Oh, missed the pair.
So the door's still open. 2 minutes to go. Xavier 5 of 13 from the line in the second half.
Now you got to pound your way through somebody.
Burton, tough angle, nice. Rebound Cummings, kick out, Elliott, got a 3!
That's why he wanted one over the right side a couple of plays ago.
76-68, Xavier.
You don't want to foul Boom here. Now you go to Claude and you foul him. Why not?
So they're going to stick with the same philosophy and put the freshman back at the free throw line.
And I, as a shooter, and here comes that open. Nice work again in the middle of the floor there. Get Elliott, 42% 3-point shooter, a wide open look. That's where most of those threes, the good threes, come from.
Just under 60% on the season, 1 of 4 today.
Yep.
And it's contagious.
Well, as a young player on this stage, your mind is racing right now. You just got to get to that line and stay on it. Don't walk around.
Big East all-freshman team out of New Haven, Connecticut.
And don't let Hunter slip on you right here. Make sure you keep him off the glass.
He's got that second one. Timeout called by Xavier. They lead at 77-68. Things tightening up with 1:34 to play.
So they're going to have Burton in the backcourt right here. My guess is he's going to bring that up and try his best to go by somebody in a hurry. Watch for the flare, the shooters on the perimeter, though. Here he comes off the same type of right-hand motion.
Burton against Hunter. Little stop and go. Burton.
Where are the shooters? There's
Kick it
one.
out. Hinson can't hit the 3 ball.
Over the top.
It is against Diaz-Graham. So an opportunity there for Pittsburgh. They could not convert it. And more free throws now for Xavier at the 119 mark.
Well executed for Jeff Capel's team. They get this good look. He's wide open. He can make that shot. Just pulls back on his shoulders a little bit. 39% on the season. And watch over the top right here. Gets his long arm on the ball, but he's going over the top from the back.
Hinson 2 of 7 from 3-point territory today. Claude Right back at the free throw line. That's got to feel good for him.
Remember, he made that last one previous to that one, too.
Comes from a basketball family. His mom played at Syracuse. His dad played at Fairfield. And the poised freshman gets it done.
That's a good recovery by him.
79-68 with 1:14 on the clock. Cummings.
Just throw it up there and go get it.
Rebound. Burton powers in.
Timeout for Pittsburgh.
Jeff Capel uses the timeout with 1:05.
He's not doing that in his home either.
Jimmy, I feel like you have an issue with John Gaffney. That's the third time you've ripped him over the weekend. Kunkel, get it ahead.
Foul him.
They didn't. Under a minute left. Hunter, back it out. Pittsburgh is not fouling.
They don't want to foul him, though. He knows Kunkel and Boom, two great free throw shooters. See, at the three-possession game, and you want to start fouling, I think, at about the 1:15 mark, and they're trying to do that, and you want to save as much time as you possibly can. And you can be a little more selective, but then all of a sudden it breaks down that they put Boom at the line.
87%, first team all Big East. Lightning fast. We've seen him on that one particular play where he took on 4 Pittsburgh defenders. His understanding of angles. Blake Hinton back in, replacing Jorge Diaz-Graham. 54.2 on the clock. Back to a double-digit lead, and it's now 11.
He drives and looks for your threes.
Down to 50 seconds left. 3 on the way. Cummings off the heel. Rebound. Tapped over to Boom. Up ahead. Claude. Back it out. And he's fouled with 41.6. Claude has scored 10 points off the bench. And Xavier is closing in on a second-round win here in the NCAA tournament. 41.6 on the clock. Major improvement for this Pitt program. They went 11-21 last season. 13 more wins than last year for Jeff Capel and company. They had 6 consecutive losing seasons before this one. But it looks like their stay is going to end here in Greensboro. Hinson, count it for 3. So it's a 9-point game. Final timeout used with 34.4 on the clock.
So he steps towards the basket, comes back and buries it from long range. I mean, he gets it off in a hurry.
Well, for Xavier, great season in the Big East, finished second behind Marquette. The question, how would it translate to the NCAA tournament? Come from behind win. They had to do it in a completely different way against Kennesaw State in the first round. Here, the opposite. They built the lead, and they've been able to hold off Pittsburgh. Let's take you back. 2009, Sweet 16. Sean Miller going against Jamie Dixon. Sean Miller going against his alma mater. Pitt, the 1 seed in the East. Levance Fields was the guy down the stretch. 60-55, the Panthers advanced over Xavier to the Elite Eight. That was in Boston. Sean Miller, when he was asked about it yesterday, this matchup, he said, hey, I've already been there through those emotions. Yes, of course, I've got Pitt coursing through my veins, but he's also had a long association with the Xavier program in 2 stints, 6th year overall as the head man. First stint was from 04 to 09, then 12 years at Arizona. Had a year off in between Arizona after getting fired and then taking the job to come back and head up this Musketeers program. They handle the pressure. And Hunter will head to the free throw line with 30.4, a 69% shooter.
Sean Miller just has a good understanding of the game of basketball and how to kind of put that in his players' head and run sets, and they run what he wants them to run. He's really figured out the personnel that he has on this team. He's a very good basketball guy.
With a win here, that'll be victories in 7 of their last 8 games. So they're playing well. The one issue was what didn't go right in the Big East championship game against Marquette. And I think because it was so lopsided, there was recency bias. You react sometimes to that, like, oh, maybe there's some problems. Nope. Xavier handled it, got through it with Kennesaw State, and they've played exceptionally well here today offensively to put up 84 points. 6 players in double figures. 18 seconds left. Cummings misses on a 3-ball. Hunter couldn't grab it. That doesn't go for Elliott. Get it ahead for Boom. He's going to back it out. And that will do it. The Musketeers march into the Sweet 16. They beat Pitt 84-73. Xavier advances to the Midwest Regional Semifinals, where they will take on Texas. Big win for the program. Changes were made last year when they struggled down the stretch. They brought Sean Miller back into the fold. They actually won the NIT, but they fired Travis Steele, who's now the head coach at Miami, Ohio, because there was a certain standard that they just didn't believe was being met at Xavier, and look where they are now. Back in the Sweet 16. Friday, they'll go head-to-head against the Longhorns of Texas. Nunji, big smile. He's been through a lot. The injury at Iowa, lost his dad, Mark. And Xavier moves on. X marks their spot in the Sweet 16. Over to Evan.
Coach, first of all, congratulations. Moving on to the Sweet 16. What are you most pleased with in how you guys won this game?
And I thought for most of the game we were very confident. You know, not perfect, but we played, I think, a style of defense that we'd really set out to do against their three-point shooting. And then from an offensive perspective, especially early, we really moved the ball. I mean, our assist at halftime, I think, was 13 maybe. So, and then at the end, man, the anxiety of the tournament is real. You know, guys got to make a couple more free throws, but we'll take it.
When you think about who you face today, your coaching journey to get back to Xavier, what words best describe the emotions and meaning to bring this program back to the Sweet 16?
Grateful, you know, grateful for the opportunity, thrilled for Xavier University, for Cincinnati, and mostly for our players. And it's a group of guys that have fought to climb the mountain the last couple of years and pulled up short, and it's just so rewarding to see our team and them finally get to the top.
Coach, congratulations. Go enjoy it with them.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.